Hey, everybody, for tonight's main topic, we have the ladies on from the CUSF Women's Committee. They're going to be talking tonight to us about the new podcast that's going to be coming out, and it's going to be coming out next month. So what I wanted to do was go around and introduce everybody. You ladies have been on the podcast previously, but I just want to make sure that everybody is aware of who the members are. And also a little bit about your background and your affiliation. So why don't we start with Deneen? Why don't we start with you? Why don't you tell us about you, your background, who you're with?
All right. I am starting to sound a little bit like you, Kelly. I'm wearing a bunch of hats these days, but I'm Deneen, Lady Gun YYC on the Instagram. I have been around the firearms industry and shooting since I was about 6, more seriously for the last 10 years. Hooked up with an amazing gal called Casey, who's also on it with us tonight. We started something called Lady Guns, which is a shooting, hunting, and outdoor activities group of women. And we try and do lots of things just to get women out to try it, to give it a go, or to join up with other like-minded women. So the pandemic has definitely impacted our ability to get out and about, but we're really looking forward to launching some new activities in the early part of this year. Other than that, very honored and pleased to be part of the CUSF, Canadian University Shooting Federation Women's Program, and working with the lovely ladies and putting on some programs, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. So there you go.
All right. And why don't we go over to Casey as well, your cohort counterpart with Lady Guns. Casey, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background?
So my name's Casey, and I've been shooting probably for about 10 years now. I loved it so much that I wanted to bring more women into shooting. So I took my instructor's course, and Deneen and I have put together a whole bunch of ladies' nights where we just got people to come out and have some fun in a safe and non-judgmental place, and just had some fun. And pandemic's pretty much slowed us down, but we're picking back up with the podcasts and stuff. So that'll be what we're talking about.
Yeah, you guys have branched out a little bit of that. Basically, your YouTube channel and your podcast have kind of taken over for that aspect of it. You, with the pandemic, you guys have been shut down a little bit with your ladies' evenings. You guys are primarily out of what location? What area of the country are you in?
So I'm located in Kamloops, and then Deneen is in Calgary. So
right. So
I had to move out there for work. So
okay. So a lot of these events will take place in Alberta as well. Not as well, but in Alberta, specifically in the Calgary area. Why don't we go over to Regina? Regina, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, and then I'm going to ask you specifically about CUSF and the Women's Committee as well.
Sounds great. So yeah, my name is Regina. I'm the Women's Program Director. I got involved in all of this through my university. So I went to the University of Calgary, and I joined the University of Calgary Gun Club there, and became an executive, eventually became the president of the club. And through that, I became friends with Dave, who's the current president of CUSF, the Canadian Shooting Federation. And he asked me to come and join him and build a women's program. So I was very lucky to meet Deneen and Casey and Kelly and be able to create this program. And as Deneen has mentioned, like due to the pandemic, we haven't been able to do as much as we wanted to, but hopefully it'll get better. But we do have the internet and social media, and that's a great thing that we can have a podcast and still keep moving forward and with the program and not just stop blankly and do nothing, right? So but we're hoping to have some live events soon. So we'll see.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
All right. So tell us about the Canadian University Shooting Federation as well. Exactly how does it work? Are you, well, again, how does it work? And how's it related to university shooting clubs across the country?
Yeah, so the Canadian Shooting Federation is an organization that kind of like oversees all the university clubs. So we're there to assist them, and whether they are just brand new and starting, so we'll provide them like funding if they need to, paperwork, help them with anything that has to do with their student union, right, and the
Mhm.
regulations, and kind of guide them in the right way to show them how to build their club, right? And for the existing clubs, we're just there to help them out, right? And it's just a partnership that we have with them so that they can be created and continue to exist, right? So we don't want them to just start up and then everyone moves out and it just fails, right? We want them to like maintain themselves. So that's the main thing, right? And then we've created the other programs. So we have the women's program. They're working in other programs as well, right? And they have a few. We have a few like every year we have the shotgun, I believe. Yeah, competition and things like that. So, and all of that is involving the university gun clubs, right? So we want to like bring in the younger community, right? The students, right? And whether they've come from a family background of like firearms and hunting and things like that, or if they literally have nothing to do with it and they just want to try it out, we're there to assist them and help them out and try this great sport that we're part of.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think that's why we decided to create the CUSF Women's Committee. Deneen, why don't you tell us about that? What's the history of that? You were involved right from the beginning.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Happy you. Casey and I came out to join one of Regina's CUSF ladies' nights at one of the ranges in Calgary, and we just had so much fun, and we were really enjoying mentoring the young ladies. We said, how can we get more involved? And so Regina asked us to join her group, and we started talking about organizing women's events and really starting to put some programming together that could reach across the country and support the other university shooting clubs. And so unfortunately the pandemic affected some of the things we were going to do, but we did put together some excellent podcasts. We've celebrated International Women's Day, and now we decided that in light of not being able to connect on a regular basis, we would launch a podcast with the objective being to introduce women and university youth into the shooting industry in Canada. So it's really about empowering and introducing women into shooting sports and really understanding how it can be fun and connecting and empowering for those people. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And we've got some great topics lined up for this podcast. And all things being equal, and being able to get back out to the ranges again, I'm definitely going to be helping with some activities here. Hopefully, Casey in the Kamloops area, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Casey, why don't you tell us what the name? We released it recently, but why don't you tell us about the name of this new podcast? And who designed the fabulous logo for it, by the way?
That would be me.
Yes, it would.
So we're calling it She Shoots Podcast. And it's going to be really exciting. I'm the tech person, so the talk stuff to you guys.
So we all met together and we decided to come up with this logo. Casey actually had a lot of inspiration on this and developed it. I think that the second part of it is women empowering women in the shooting community is so important. It's really relates to our topics, what we're going to be talking about. But Regina, the objective of the women's committee, Deneen talked about it a little bit, but what's our objective with surrounding having this podcast, other than giving us more to do, which is perfectly fine, I think. But
so it's introducing women to the shooting community, right? So being showing that women are part of it, that we exist in the community, and making that safe space for more women that want to learn and try and be part of our community, right? So we want to just show that we're present, so they're comfortable with becoming a part of it, right? So that's the main thing. We want to bring more women into the community, show them what we know, and that's part of the podcast, right? We want to educate people, educate women about the firearms community, right? Anything that has to do from regulations to hunting, the different types of sports that there is in the community, right? And see what intrigues them, right? Like, what do they want to learn? Like, do they want to go into IPSC? Do you want to go into trap shooting? Like, what do you want to learn from the community, right? And just, be part of it. Come try it.
So what type of format were we going to be using? I know that it's not like specifically, Slamfire Radio has a format. We've discussed a little bit specific to the format. What can people expect if they're tuning in? Deneen, why don't you give us a little bit of an update on that?
Sure. We're just going to copy the great Slamfire format and go from there. We have picked 12 topics for 12 months to point out or illustrate the kinds of things that we're going to talk about. Regina already talked about IPSC and sporting or in trap shooting, but what we've done is we've taken all of the fantastic shooting sports in Canada that have organized groups or associations, and we've decided we're going to bring a guest in, and we're going to talk about what it is and how you can get involved, and some of the different areas that they may have associations. And so trying to really bring the playing field down so that people know how to get involved. And one other thing I'd like to add, I think there's about 250,000 PAL holders that are women in Canada. There's around 250,000 of us. And so if we can connect those women to the new ladies that want to shoot, that also helps bridge that pathway. So the format that we want to do is bring those fantastic women in, bring the new women in, talk about how they got involved in a particular sport and what they might be doing. It doesn't matter if they are new to the sport or if they're a world champion. We want to talk to them all because anybody can play these games. There's just that getting over how to get there and how to get involved and how to sign up and where to go and maybe who to go with. So I think that we're gonna cover all of that, and we're just really going to celebrate bringing those like-minded women together. We're all ages, we're all body types, we're all fitness levels, and we live across this huge country, and so we should be able to help each other find each other so we can get out there. Yeah.
And this is bridging that gap as well. We're talking about taking somebody from being a brand new shooter, or maybe has just gone to maybe one of our range days, and taking them from that to getting their our pal, and then also introducing them to the various sports that are available out there as well. Subject matter experts will be coming on. Obviously, we would love to have some. Well, in some of the previous podcasts, we've had Olympic shooters come on. So what? Well, we've had coaches, or we're hoping to have coaches. Anyways, it's going to be really exciting to have all these different people come and join us and talk about shooting. Not like we don't like talking about shooting, anyways. Casey, why don't you tell us about when we're going to be launching this and where people can find us? Because you're the tech expert.
So we're going to be launching the first episode on January 11th. You can find us on ladyguns.com. CUSF should have it as well. Maple Seed will have it on their website as well. We're going to have it on Facebook and YouTube. I'm looking into seeing about Spotify. And we'll be posting up tons of information on our Instagrams too. So
sweet. So if people don't know, they can always contact you guys at Lady Guns or CUSF. Regina, I'm sure that they can contact you as well. Yeah. We'll get into that in a few minutes. But What else? What types of things can people expect? Do they need to be members of CUSF to participate in this? Is it only open to females or university age students?
It's open to everybody. Everybody's welcome. We want people to learn. That's what we want to do. So
if you are a woman, if you know a woman, then encourage them to participate. I know in a previous event I was part of with the CCFR Gunny Girls, we were encouraging everybody to bring their wives, their girlfriends, their grandmas, their aunts, everybody to come and meet women that shoot. And some were new and brand new PAL holders, and some people were competitors and instructors. So we had all kinds. And so it's the same idea, is letting them know every time I go to an event and have new ladies participate, they go, what can I do with this? I've learned to shoot a pistol. What can I do with this? I love this shotgun. What can I do with this? So I think it's really important for everybody to know there's a sport out there if they really want to get into it. And they're not always highly competitive. Sometimes they're just for fun, and you might win a keychain if you're lucky. It's really not as impossible to get involved in some of these. And some are quite entry level, meaning like a steel challenge versus an Issc match. That some of them are quite easy to get involved with, and you get to do it with squads and groups of people. So yeah, we have lots to talk about, and I can't wait to meet the subject matter experts and find out how they're involved, where they're shooting, where they're practicing, or maybe they're just getting started and it's their first season. That would be exciting too.
Yeah, and it's incredible that we're trying to use this as a method to overcome those challenges that people are seeing, or the concerns that they have with respect to starting a specific, either shooting or a specific sport as well. We'll go down that rabbit hole and try and solve some of those myths and that surrounding it as well.
One of the things I find, Kelly, is that you mentioned Ladies' Days. So there's lots of ranges that put on Ladies' Days, and they do it once a year. It's a great annual event. But if that's the only time once a year that a lady feels comfortable shooting, then we're not serving the community very well. So it's time to get more of these things and connect all of these opportunities together. So.
Yeah, it's great to see that women are becoming more and more comfortable. And it's also great to see that we're having these sorts of things, like, for example, women-specific podcasts or women-specific groups where we can chat, network, etc. So this just means it's going to make our community that much stronger as well.
You'd think we'd have started a long time ago. We typically talk more than men, I've heard. So.
You think?
Just a little bit.
It is. It took a pandemic for us to realize that we need to fill our time a little bit more, I guess. Anyways, you talked about maybe winning a little bit of a trinket or something along those lines, but I know that we're looking at actually even incorporating some of that prize piece into the podcast as well. Rahina, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we're thinking about, when we do the podcast, also releasing some targets with instructions. So you would just go to your range wherever you're at, right? And we don't care how many times you actually hit it, right? How good you're at it. Pretty much it's going to be like, you take it to your range, you shoot it, and just take a selfie with it, post it on Instagram, tag us in it, and then we'll do a draw, and then you might win a prize. We're still figuring out the specifics of it, but that's kind of along the lines of what we're thinking of going with it.
Yeah, to encourage more people to get out and just shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially during a pandemic. What else can you do? Go outside.
Exactly. We can't. A lot of us in different areas, we can't get in groups together, right? So, like, if you're able to go to your range by yourself, go ahead and do it, right?
Yeah. All right. Do we have sponsors that might be sponsoring this as well?
Yeah, so we have a few sponsors from CUSF that will also be sponsoring the CUSF podcast. So we have, sorry, I might miss a few of them. I'm hoping I don't, but we have Beretta, we have Stittsville Range, we have
Cabela's.
Cabela's.
Yeah, Cabela's.
Vortex.
We'll help you out.
Miss Cabela's.
Vortex and Maple Seed. Those are the
Yeah.
other ones I've written down.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again,
but yeah, we'll have them all listed in our podcast. Definitely can't forget to mention great sponsors that we have. And so we're pretty proud and happy to have them.
yeah. And also the partnership between Lady Guns as well with us as well. We wanted to give them a little bit of a shout out too.
Absolutely. Couldn't do it without them.
Yeah. Speaking of couldn't do it without them, there is one person that's missing from tonight's podcast. Do you want to introduce one of our newer members of the committee?
Yeah, for sure. So her name's Megan. She's actually our program director. So she oversees all the programs within CUSF. So it's great and having another female be part of our community. So yeah, unfortunately she couldn't be here today. She has other matters to deal with CUSF as well. So, but yeah, it's another great mind that we can pick at and see what ideas she has and just to talk about. And yeah, like it's nice to not be the only woman, in the CUSF side. And I share ideas with her and talk to her and stuff like that. Even though like Travis wasn't bad, he was a good guy, but he just moved to a different part of CUSF. Still in CUSF, just doing a different role. But yeah, definitely happy to have Megan. We'll have her in a podcast whenever she's available too. But yeah, she'll be giving us some input, and it'll be nice having more contact with her as well.
Yeah, and she's located here in this area, so Ontario. We have Deneen and Casey. Well, Casey, you split your time between BC and Alberta. I know that. And then we have you in the West Coast as well, Rahina.
Yes.
So I do know that we're going to be talking about some things that are going to be coming up, perhaps maybe even a range day or two in the future. So if any ladies are interested in coming out for those, specifically in Alberta, BC, or Ontario, we'll be having those in the future. Anything else that we can look forward to from the podcast?
I think I would like to add that when our women's committee got together, we talked about how important it is for all Canadians, but especially women who share amongst each other quite a bit, helping women understand what it is to be part of the firearms community and what it is to be a gun owner, and the rules and the legislation and everything that we are upheld to, and how important it is. So even if they decide not to become a super active member, that they really understand that we are scrutinized and that we're just a bunch of people, and instead of playing golf or hockey, we're out doing something different. We love getting together, and there's a part of it also that we talk about the environment and conservation. So I think we want to touch on those things as well as the sport of shooting and the different types of ways to get involved. I think it's really important, and we all agreed that the education aspect and the spin-off areas, that it has a positive effect, whether you're hunting or shooting, how important that is. So thanks for letting me add that.
Oh, you're welcome. But you are correct, especially when we're talking about conservation. We will be talking about that on the podcast as well. It's something that's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, and when we start talking about from a hunting perspective, there's some education that takes place as well. So it's really, really important for us to do that. And let's see, where can people actually get a hold of you guys? So Casey, what about you? What about Lady Guns? So people, where are you? Again, you're the tech person, so where are you?
We're on the interweb, Kelly. We're on the interweb.
This whole fangled thing about the internet.
So you can find us online at ladyguns.ca. Deneen has a Facebook page, Lady Guns YYC. Is it Lady Guns YYC? I can't remember.
Just Lady Guns, and Calgary is embedded in it. But yeah, you can find us under Lady Guns on Facebook,
right?
Instagram.
Instagram. So I'm Lady Guns YYC _KG, and Deneen is Lady Guns YYC. I think we have a YouTube page under Lady Guns, and that's pretty much it right now.
And
Yeah.
all the She Shoots podcasts are going to be on our Lady Guns YouTube channel. They're going to be on a couple other channels as well, I think Maple Seed and CUSF. So we're going to share our content and hopefully get some more eyes taking a look at what we're doing.
That's really important. Yep. What about you, Regina? Where can
Yeah,
people
so
get a hold of you?
For me directly, it'll be through Instagram, so at CUSF Women. But we also have our CUSF website, and we also have our CUSF Facebook page, and there's also the CUSF Instagram. When you do search for it, search up with the full name, the Canadian Shooting Federation. It only in some places will abbreviate it, but yeah. So Instagram, Canadian Shooting Federation, same as the website and the Facebook page.
Yeah. So if people are interested in volunteering, helping out at specific CUSF events or women's events, or even donating, sponsoring, etc., they can contact you with respect to this, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
We would love to have more people come out.
Yeah, exactly. The more the merrier.
Yeah. Yeah. Any further questions for the ladies? Guys?
No, I don't think so. In
It's
terms
so
of the
quiet, they
podcast,
didn't know you asked.
is the podcast going to be on what?
We're going to be running it through StreamYard.
Oh, sorry.
Same as you guys. So like Denise said, we're going to be sharing it through our YouTube pages. So we have the Lady Guns, we have the CUSF page, and it's also going to be on the CUSF Facebook page as well. And yes, Katie says she's looking into the
Spotify.
Yes,
Spotify.
And I think, Casey, you're setting it up through our Lady Guns Facebook page too as an event, right? So the link.
Yeah, so people can view it just like they are with Slamfire Radio. Live broadcast. Participate.
Excellent.
Yeah. And again, it's so great working with you ladies and all that you do for shooting in Canada, specifically with women, but also for our shooting sport. So thank you again for coming on, but thank you also for being the most amazing ladies ever.
Aw, thanks, Kelly. It's awesome working with you.
Oh,
thanks.
Well, thanks.
You get the guys are pretty cool too, but they weren't very chatty.
No.
Well, Kelly had a circuit of questions. Very well organized.
Always.
Okay, I have a question. But
okay, Mo, what is it?
And this is from a question of ignorance, because I'm fairly new to the shooting community. Do most Canadian universities have shooting clubs, or is it more by province, that like where Alberta would and maybe Ontario wouldn't?
It depends, because Alberta and Ontario have the biggest university clubs right now. So the University of Calgary and
Mount Royal University.
Yes, and the one in Ontario, I'm just
Carleton.
Right
There's Carleton.
Carleton.
And Western. Yeah,
exactly. So they are the two biggest and the oldest university clubs. So they existed even before CUSF existed. So they've been there for a while. And then there's other ones throughout Canada. A lot more of them have been created since CUSF started as well. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, they've had their ups and downs. They've had to go under for a little bit, but a lot of them have come back, and we're obviously helping them to stay afloat. So,
So there, for Mo's information on that, we talked about it a little bit last time you were on, and when we also had Travis on as well. If people are interested in trying to start a club for their university specifically, they can also contact CUSF as well.
Absolutely.
It is a little difficult. I know that there's some challenges specifically with shooting sports and universities. We've seen that in some of the universities.
That's why I was asking, because it seems like it's more a leftist, institution that would be anti-gun and anti-shooting, right? So, but it depends on the administration as well, right? So.
Yeah, so the main thing is keeping up with the student union and the regulations that have placed on all the university clubs, right? Make sure that we're doing everything by the line and making sure, like, obviously, like as anywhere else, safety is the main priority, right? So that's the main thing that comes with the clubs, is like we have to prioritize the safety of everything. If anything happens, then they would just get shut down automatically, right? So
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Janine.
Kelly. I was going to say there's another connection to Mo, and we're going to try and illustrate it in the She Shoots podcast, and that's the connection between shooting sports and Olympic shooting sports. And so, you talk about universities and embracing the shooting sports and allowing these clubs. The more we do that, the more Olympic potentials and shooters we can have, and it's great news for all of us who might be older than university age, because you can become an Olympic shooter at any age. So there's hope for all of us. But that introduces the shooting sports that we have. And we have some great Olympians in Canada. So hopefully that's the path through to the universities, and then the recreational side spins out of it. So
yeah, and that's part of the spinoff we have from this podcast as well. We're hoping to introduce more university age students to that shooting sports are okay, and especially from a female perspective, that it's okay. And then we can see that we are going to have more support for Olympic shooters too, and any other types of shooting that we have, hunting, etc. Again.
Well, I think there's been a big movement also for the somebody hopefully will jump in and help me here. It's the backpackers. It's another association, and across Canada, it's coming up through the universities as well, and they're opening different chapters, and it's really about backpacking and backcountry and hunting and all of that. So they really like to get into the hunting aspect, which gets into the conservation side. So it also connects to shooting sports. So.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Any other questions? We got Chmo there.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Kyle.
What about frequency? Is it a monthly show, weekly?
Good question.
It's a great question.
Damn it. I forgot of it.
It's going to be once a month.
Once a month for now.
Okay.
So
yeah, we'll see how it goes. We all have our very busy lives, but we figure that we can commit to once a month.
Yeah. Awesome. So typically, what is it going to be? I think we've scheduled it in.
So typically, most of them we have it scheduled the second Tuesday of each month.
Yeah, it'll always be a Tuesday, and it usually falls around the second Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't take Kelly from us, just so you know.
No, we made sure not to. We're like, okay, like which day would Kelly be most available?
I disagree. We took Kelly from you. We just gave her Thursdays back.
There's a lot of thought and planning with respect to this. Okay, who's doing which podcast on what dates? We don't want to overlap that. There's a lot of coordination and consideration when we're talking about this. So again, it's really important for us to have these podcasts. Not only, I'm a little biased with Slamfire and also now with She Shoots, but those other podcasts as well. There's so many different people that they're appealing to, and again, it's all about promoting our sport as well.
It's all good.
We like competition. Is it competition? Is everything a competition?
Everything's a competition.
I think we're frenemies, aren't we? Isn't that what it's called? Frenemies.
Okay. No, I think it's awesome. But anyways, all right. Well, again, thank you, ladies, for coming on. I look forward to speaking with you in the near future, obviously. But we're going to have some things that are going to be coming out in the next little while as well. We'll be introducing our first topic and our first guest as well. I think next week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we'll spread some more information, spread the love about She Shoots. So if you're listening to the show tonight, or if you're listening to our podcast through the various streams, look for it, share it, tell some ladies about it, tell other people about it as well. So, yeah. Thanks again, ladies.
Thanks for
Have
having
a good night,
us.
guys.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Okay. And let's just...
The order's set, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 436 for December 30th, 2021. It's our last show of the year. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly Lynn.
I am another one of your hosts, Adriel.
I am yet another one, Kyle.
I'm yet another one, Mo.
And that's it. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Merry Christmas. I hope your Christmases were all good.
It was. Santa was very good to me.
Was he?
Yeah.
We're going to show guns next week, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's do that. But why don't we get into what we did in guns this week right away? So what we did in guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center. It's Canada's premier firearms retailer. Did we already do this or not? I thought we talked about this last week, but
we did. Yeah.
Okay. So, hey, why don't you hit up the Calgary Shooting Center? And the reason is because they're, one, a sponsor of the show, but two, not only that, they have some amazing deals going on right now. Yeah, really great guys too. Why don't we just leave it at that?
Yeah.
Okay. Adriel, why don't you tell us what you did in guns this week?
Well, for the last 2 weeks, it's been super cold in Alberta, and yeah, not much. Just trying to survive. just out here trying to survive. It's so cold. For people who are international or maybe in the East or something like that, cold for us is like minus 30s, in the minus 30s, like the mid minus 30s, minus 38, 39, with wind chill, maybe minus 50, you know. You can go out for a walk and you get like a decent ice beard going pretty quick. Cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
I put up some videos. I put up a video on the Issc Scout Sr, which is a toggle action 22 rifle.
What'd you think?
For $250,
not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
For MSRP $650, no. The reliability is not good enough. I think like the concept's cool, and you could probably dick around with it and get the reliability to where you want it to be. But I wouldn't want to do that for a rifle for $650. For $650, I can go get a CZ.
That's something a little bit more reliable.
Too. Yeah. Be more reliable, more accurate, more everything, and just better. But at $250, it's kind of neat. I did my video on how to get started hunting, so I did the article on it, and
yeah, that was good.
Put up the video on it as well. That was fun, and then I put out a video on a cheap AliExpress vest. And,
I watched that one.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I mean, so the vest, it works kind of, not to how they sold it, and if you leave it like a battery it uses these like USB packs or USB battery packs, and if you leave it plugged in, it like the idle circuit on it, just like it probably just runs through a resistor or something like that, and it gets hot. Like the buttons get hot, which is
self-heating.
Which is,
I mean, if you're outside, yeah, it's self-heating. It's bad. It's bad.
It's Alberta though, and you need it for minus 35-degree weather.
Yeah, I mean, you just plug it in and just turn it on and leave it on the whole time, and then when you're done, just unplug it, which would work as well.
What is the price you paid for the vest?
$20.
Yeah, I'm not expecting much from that.
That's big money. Yeah,
it's probably about a 5-cent switch.
I guess if I really was that worried about it, I could crack that baby open and put in a new switch. I have these skills. I can do these things. Maybe.
Yeah.
And then like not gun related, but kind of gun related. I got a signed offer on my place, so. Once that passes inspection, I'll get a bigger place. I'll get guns back. I don't have any guns right now. I have my AR-15 receivers because I have to. I can't transfer them or anything like that. So they're sitting in a tiny little safe in my place, but I don't have any other guns. I would like to have guns again. That would be cool.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Guns are cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe in February or something like that, I'll have a new place and guns and stuff.
Well, that's good news that you got an offer on the place. I hope it passes.
Yeah. Me too.
And then you get to buy a really big place that has a gun room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gun room, and like a more permanent like video place. So I don't have to use like weird backers like this. I can just put up like a green screen or a white screen or something like that. That would be nice. Mm-hmm. Some better lighting. Not that my lighting is pretty good right now, but some better lighting. Like and permanent like guns in the background and stuff. Great for business calls. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Business. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that sales call. So you buy this, or they come out,
or else
they just sit there. You don't talk about them.
Yeah,
it's the implication.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
the strong silent type.
Yeah, it's the best type.
That's it for me though. I mean, it's cold. We had Christmas. It's cold. It's still cold.
Yeah.
It's going to be -8 on Saturday, and then it goes back to -25. It's just miserably cold out here. But it's fun. I don't know. Go outside, freeze, whatever. Just don't shoot, because like I've taken guns to the range before in -35, and you can. Some of them work, some of them don't. Some of them just like some of your most reliable guns, like they just won't work in the cold. Anything that's got like a little bit too much oil on it, that oil gets like jelly and it starts to like gum things up. Any guns that have like really tight tolerances or like a really long bearing surface, like a good example would be the Shadow, right? It's got that full length dust cover, it's got that slide, there's a lot of bearing surface in there, and if there's any oil or grit or whatever and it's cold, they just don't work very well. So
doesn't cycle on.
AR-15s, if your firing pin gets wet or you just oiled it too much, you'll get failure to fire. You'll click it and it won't do anything for you. Shotguns, like semi-auto shotguns, are dicey at the best of times. And you put them in like -35 or whatever, and a lot of them don't want to run either. The shells like deform and get weird, and they're plastic. And there's long story short. So I do shoot in -35, but not when I'm trying to do a review or something like that, because there's too much can go wrong. And then you can't blame the gun for it, and you can't blame with the ammo or the accuracy. A lot of 22 lubes aren't meant to be fired at cold temperatures. You can get that. Was it SK or Issc that makes the Nordic biathlon stuff that's meant to be shot in cold weather?
I think it's Issc.
Issc?
Yeah.
But like, which suggests to you that some of those other lubes don't really work that great. I mean, they're waxes and stuff.
But
so like,
it's wax.
How's a wax going to work when it's like colder than a witch's tit outside, right?
Oh, and paste ones too, like frog lube. No.
Yeah. No,
frog lube is which one is that? Is that
It actually smells really good. I use it to clean
edible,
my iron
too.
for stippling.
It's coconut oil.
Yeah, it's edible.
Yeah, I think it is.
Just don't eat it.
And then the Fire Clean was the just straight up vegetable oil.
Yeah. By the way, Doug is mentioned to you, Adriel, that you're living obviously in the wrong part of Alberta.
Well, of course it's going to be warmer in Cali. It's probably a Chinook that we're getting in, and it's going to be like beautiful in Cali. But it's only for one day, and then it's back to frigid, cold temperatures in Alberta right afterwards. So
yeah.
Or
then there's William. William says that predictions are +3 for Montreal as well. So hey, you just live in the wrong part of Alberta. You and Kyle, both of you.
Well,
I like it.
What was it? Last Thursday, we were the second coldest place on Earth at -45.
Nice. It's always nice.
Lucky you.
I'm not really thrilled about that, but we're number 2.
Congratulations.
Number one's like some far north place in Canada or Russia or something like that.
It was Russia. Yeah, it was Russia. Yeah.
Oh no, that's good.
Yeah, they were -48 and we were -45. And,
well, I'll do better next time. How about that? Okay.
That's the wrong list. I don't want to be on that list.
Big colder.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it for the temperatures that Kelly talks about for Ontario when it's summer. I'll take the -40s for a week in Alberta if it means that our summers aren't like that hot.
Yeah, but getting this cold this early, I'm actually nervous for when we actually hit the cold season into January, February, what it's going to be like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Spoiler, it's going to be cold.
BC's getting cold too, and it's getting snow. It's weird out west. I don't know what we're in store for. Okay, is that it?
Yeah, that's it for me. What about you, Kelly?
I did absolutely 100% nothing other than send out a couple more calendars, and that's about it. I just wanted to let people know too, because people are messaging me or they're posting questions on when they can register the calendar. Again, I repeat, the calendars are to be registered on January 1st or later, and the reason is because we're still in 2021. The calendars from that came out this past year are still active. So you have to wait until January 1st to register it. Once you do register it, then you'll be able to partake in any of the draws that are upcoming. So just to let you know. By the way, there is still a couple calendars, not very many, but there are still some available on the store, and you probably do want to go and buy some so you can participate in these draws. We even have guns as well this year. So go and do it. You might win a gun. And no, Doug, you're not going to win another one. Or maybe you might. Did you register your calendars? I guess you can win. You keep winning guns. Anyways. All right, Mo, what about you?
I went to a match at CTM, the local Montreal range. I was there on Friday afternoon and evening for the build, and then I helped there was the shooting squad, so I just patch and reset. Then I was back on the Saturday for my match, which was at 10:30. Went okay. It was 5 stages. And then I stuck around after to do some more patching and stuff. I was pretty much there till the end, till we did the teardown. So that took up all of Friday and Saturday, but it was a lot of fun. I picked up my Ruger Wrangler, so I actually have it now. I haven't shot it yet, but it's here at home. So, and I'm looking forward to shooting it once I get my paperwork.
No reg cert yet, hey? When
No.
did the transfer go through?
The actual, like, the email I got within, that's one good thing about Quebec. The transfers are day and a half, 2 days max. Yeah, they're fast. They're absolutely.
Mine is still waiting.
No, that's Quebec's like Alberta, I guess. It's pretty quick. There's a quick turnaround. Because I made another purchase and I already got that one. So I went ahead and I got the 10 Folio Stock 2 Extreme, which I was been dying to get. It's funny because after our last show, was it that night or the next day, the local store here, Ramp, they put it on sale for, it's like $180 cheaper. Because pretty much everybody was selling it at around $2,600, so they put it on sale, and so I bought one, and that that one I actually got to shoot because I picked it up from the range. Well, the transfer was quick as well, and that one, since I picked it up from there, I ended up shooting it, and it was a lot of fun. So I look forward to. I've already been dry firing with it and getting ready to.
How do you like the trigger on it, by the way?
It seems nice. The double action seems even like better. It's pretty sweet. The whole gun is sweet, so I can't wait.
Yeah.
I picked up a holster for it too. That was a little tough. There wasn't too many holsters out there. There was like Blade Tech and.
Does it fit like a standard Shadow or like a CZ75 holster or no?
No, not really. Not snug, right? Not like it'll jiggle in there, right? So I ended up getting a Black Scorpion because the range had one. So I've never had one before. I don't know much about them, but I'm going to give it a try. So I ended up getting. So it's nice because the gun itself comes with 4 mags and like the extended base pads, like the extreme base pads. But then I bought 2 more mags and 2 more base pads. So just, more money after that.
You're fully outfitted then.
So that's a production gun, right?
Yeah. That's a total production. Yeah. It doesn't come optic ready at all. So it's going to be pure production, but, so yeah, hopefully I'll get to shoot it at some match at some point, but our first match in Quebec was already canceled, and I'm sure there's going to be more of those. Fingers crossed that the RA Center has, that the one in Ottawa has a match on the 15th, and so far it's still on the calendar. But with these things, they could change by the day. So, so that was it through the guns. I started. So I did, like I said, I did some live fire practice with it at the range. It turned out there was on a Monday night where it's like the practice night, and there was like 2 of me and this other guy there, and we pretty much had the range for ourselves just to like move around the targets, and it was a blast. It was like just one after the other, and we're just shooting, and I ended up shooting like 250 rounds, so it was good. I was working on we had some small poppers, and I had put them, I think, at 15 yards. So I was really working on nailing those. So if I keep a good grip, I hit them on first attempt. If I loosen my grip, then I don't. So obviously I'm pulling off a bit. But yeah, so that's it for me. How about you, Cal?
Well, like Adriel said, it's been cold, so I haven't really been doing much on the gun side of things. Also, I've been fighting an ankle. Well, not fighting. I've just been dealing with an ankle injury for about 5 or 6 months. So finally went to the doctor, and now I'm in an air boot because apparently it's a little worse than I thought. And yeah, keep working on it and not doing anything for 5 months will do that. So now I got a few months of physio and rehab to try and get that back up and actually healed properly now.
So you can get back into fighting form when you go out and do some dynamic shooting.
Yeah, and this might be a year where I'm wearing an ankle brace for when I go shooting, just to give it that extra support and that. So
does it work well when you're curling? Can you put like a slip on it? And
no, it's actually very grippy, and it's got a curved bottom, so it would not be good for curling. No, I would always glide on my left foot, so no, it's my left foot too. So
it's terrible, terrible.
Curved bottom, you say?
Yeah, so it does. It feels like you're wearing like a ski boot, but it doesn't have the flat bottom like a ski boot, so you can actually kind of walk normal.
It's like
other than that, I got my wife and son bought me another webcam, so now I have another angle for the studio, and I think it's gonna be good for when I'm showing guns. It is. And there it is.
Oh, look at that.
So that's how I got it set up right now. So then I think just because it's further away, it'll be better for when I can show guns and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's actually a good opportunity to show. It was the day after our Christmas show. My Christmas sweaters and stuff come in. So there's the 5 tons of Christmas.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I got some other t-shirts, and I'm hot, so I'm going to take the sweater off, and I'm actually wearing one of the other t-shirts under it. Yeah, I don't know if this is appropriate for the show. No.
Well, he's taking it off. I really want to admire your CCFR radio neon sign as well.
Yeah, that's a great looking sign.
And
thanks. Yeah, it works out pretty good there.
So what is your t-shirt? What does it have on it?
It is a gun snowflake.
Oh, that's cool.
It's such a special snowflake you have.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Yeah. The right type of snowflake, yeah.
Yeah. We should see about getting those. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, new camera angle to play with for showing guns and whatnot. And I was going to show it tonight, but yeah, we decided to go on YouTube. I'm going to get it's actually sitting right there. Hard to see with the fireplace, but got a Gersan MC312 to work on and check out and see. Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah. I was messing around with it last night, just checking it out, and it seems good. Like that, the bolt carrier is beefy. Holy cow. It is a beefy bolt carrier. And initially it's like a mix between an M2 and an M3K, I think. It's got elements of both. It's got the 2-piece shell catch, which I really like.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's got a decent lifter, but I don't care about the lifters. I'll run a stock lifter. I don't care. If you got good technique, you don't need to extend that. But yeah, so I'm going to open up the load port, do some tuning work, and I'm actually going to take it to the range and shoot it just to see how it is. Try some light loads in it and basically see what makes it tick and how it is and how viable it is as an option, as a cheaper option for competition.
Okay. Yeah. Next week, if you can, I want to see the guts of that thing. I want to see that bolt carrier and what kind of inertial spring they've gotten at. I want to see it all.
Yeah,
so I'm super curious about that shotgun.
It looks like the recoil is in the buttstock, unlike the M3K. So it's more of the M2 style. The M2 Versamax.
The A5 has it in the buttstock as well.
Yeah, the A5, yeah.
When are you planning to take it, by the way? To the range. You said you want to shoot?
I don't know. I'll probably take it after I do the port work and the loading work.
Okay.
So I might have that done by next show, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
That's super interesting because there's not really another cheap inertial semi-auto. The M3K is 780, 800-ish.
Yeah, about there.
M2's way up there. The A5's $1,500. The Versamax, well, Remington doesn't make anything anymore.
No. Which is fine. Yeah. If we lose the Versamax, my heart's not broken.
It's not a major loss. No.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to checking that out, and that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. So you actually did a little bit too. That's awesome. Let's cut into upcoming events. It's freaking cold, so there's not any, but we'll still give TLS Alpha a shout out. TLS Alpha is a digital agency that works exclusively in the firearms vertical. They help with business processes, strategic planning, websites, e-commerce, and battling the stigma the industry carries with banks, merchant processors, and social media. Check them out at telosalpha.com. And if anybody does have upcoming events, let us know. We'll populate this section as well. Just send us an email. And hopefully stuff will be happening soon. Hope you don't get canceled on the 15th. But anyways, why don't we talk about the legal fund donations? I populated that as well. So the CCFR legal donations, we want to give a shout out to Superior Pistol Club in Thunder Bay for a $500 donation to them. White Court Fish and Game Association, $2,500 was donated. And if you're looking for a way, Kyle just showed you his amazing neon sign. So if you're looking for a way to help the CCFR fund the massive upcoming court battle, because it is going to be a massive financial obligation, you can do that by going over and try and win that cool sign. You can do it basically by donating $10, and every $10 donation you get, you're going to get an entry into winning a sign. So it's memberships.firearmsrights.ca sign contest. Go and look it up on CCFR. Or if you just want to go over and become a member. And you can also donate to the legal fund by sending EMT to finance@firearmsrights.ca. So go and support them because they're supporting us. And right now it's more important than ever. And sorry about that. New Gun Stuff. New Gun Stuff is sponsored by Bolt Action Coffee. Slamfire Radio is a brand ambassador for Bolt Action Coffee. By the way, Mo,
yes,
how you liking the coffee?
I love it.
That's
I'll be getting some more.
Good. So, as Mo says, the coffee is some of the best coffee that you can get. It's roasted in small batches, by the way, and you can get your hands on it by going over to boltactioncoffee.ca. Use the discount code SLAMFIRE, all one word and capital letters, and you'll also get a discount, and it'll get sent directly to you at your home. You don't even have to leave the house. New Gun Stuff. Adriel, what did you put in?
All sorts of stuff. I mean, the first one we've got here is that Ruger is reintroducing the Marlin 1895.
Sweet.
Yep.
I like these rifles.
I'm really excited. So, like when Remington first brought on Marlin, I remember getting an 1895 from them, and the finish on the receiver was garbage. And it looked okay, but if you took it outside, you brought it in, and hey, Alberta being cold, you get condensation on it, just that condensation from the air. You get flash rust on it. Yeah. So I got flash rust on this 1895. I'm like, this is some garbage. And hopefully Ruger's fixed that, because one of the things that Ruger is doing here, they actually took all the equipment and moved it. And they brought it to I don't know, some sort of Ruger facility, I'd imagine. And then they gave it a review in terms of like quality, accuracy, and performance standards, and probably like how they can fit it in their factory and make it for a certain price point. But so now Ruger made Marlin rifles are going to start coming out. This one is stainless steel with laminate, but I'm sure they'll be releasing other ones as well. Yep. It's a cool rifle. I think it fits a niche that doesn't really get fit by a lot of other rifles. It's a 4570 lever gun. It's kind of interesting. If you want to think about like a bushwhacking, like elk and moose gun, like it's a pretty good option for that kind of a thing, right? It's bringing a lot of power, and it's a pretty durable, easy to haul design out there. I don't know if I really like that huge rail on the top there, but I think I would rather just go with like, what's that?
I was gonna say, this is one that I actually really want. I've had my eyes on the 1895 for a long time. I just haven't pulled the trigger, pun intended, to buy one. But I got two ideas. I want this one with the gray laminated, but I'm hoping they come out with the black, because I will tacticalize a lever gun.
4570 or 3030?
Yes. No, 4570. You gotta go 4570.
Bumper. Yeah.
But also another note is Korth, the Ruger distributor for Canada, they actually have these in stock.
Yeah.
What? They already have them?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a post there the other day. They actually have them in stock.
They're
What's
pretty.
the price?
They used to be like $1,300, so I don't know.
Yeah, Korth
the stainless
is,
ones were up there.
Yeah, distributor. They're not the retailer. So
No.
I liked it when it was with Marlin.
I've like I said, I've had my eyes on this for a long time.
Yeah, I'm not angry about the rail. I'm not thinking that I'd put a scope on it at all.
It's too long. If you're going to put a scope here, your bell is going to be right there. That's the wrong place for that. I would go irons or scope.
I think it needs to be shot with irons. That's it. Just saying.
I do too. Yeah. For a 45-70,
yeah,
it's a close-in gun. You're not going to need a scope to shoot 100 yards in. Irons would be fine.
Yep. Okay. Now that we've all approved of this, and by the way, Ruger does better jobs with finishes, so
yeah,
that
Ruger
probably
makes
will
higher
improve.
quality stuff generally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Speaking of higher quality, Norinco, let's go there.
Speaking about a huge rail on top too. This is G4C. This is on sale right now. So this is lower than I've typically seen the G3s. Yeah. So they've got the Norinco Type 97s Gen 3 for $1,099. That's at G4C.
Has anyone shot one of these?
I have. Yeah.
I haven't.
You have?
No, I haven't. Well, Adriel shoots everything.
Yeah, a listener and 3-gunner has one of these and uses it for 3-gunning and runs good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Doug got one too. There we go.
He says it rocks.
Mm-hmm. The next one we have here, Bullseye North. They have their Boxing Week deals available. Stops. Some of these stop today. Some of them go till the 30th.
Yeah.
They've got some really good deals. I would check them out. They've got a bunch of different stuff. Yeah, some really decent deals on some of their stuff. M Carbo. If you ended up getting one of those Savage Axis that were like on super sale at Cabela's, the Savage Axis 1, get the trigger kit from Bullseye because that will crank the trigger pull weight way down and makes them really nice.
It's one of my favorite stores, by the way. I just can't. It's since they moved locations and redone the whole entire store. It's an amazing location. If you're in London, go and visit them. Just have to say that.
And then this other thing, so Tacon 3G makes some really interesting stuff that like no one else is doing, and this is one of them. I just wanted to show it. It doesn't have any bearing on us because this is like NA for Canada.
Yeah.
but they're making like uppers for AR-15s in 22 mag, and they're really cool looking. They've got like carbon fiber forends and these crazy barrels, and they've got like actions that are reworked for 22 mag. Like this would be really interesting if they were not restricted here in Canada.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that we'd like our American friends to go and do this, and then we'll come down and shoot them,
live vicariously through their guns.
No, I want to be invited once we can cross the border.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, this is really neat. I was actually looking at. I don't know if you've looked through their 1022 stuff before, but they've got a bunch of wild stuff for like lightweight 1022s. And I was thinking about that, but I just don't know if they have the export permit for the barrels. But like they've got ultralight chassis and buttstocks that are very lightweight. Yeah, you could make this like it's carbon fiber forend, Delrin receiver, carbon fiber tube for the buttstock, like super lightweight stuff. And then for the barrel, they have the lightest barrel you can get. That's 16 inches, and that's because it's a 16-inch sleeved barrel. So this is just one big tube. There's only 4.5 inches of real barrel in here. The rest of it's just a tube.
Wow.
So it's a 16-inch barrel, but it's like a tiny little barrel that's actually sitting in there, and that's why it's so lightweight. This is a lot lighter than any other barrel you're going to get.
4.5 inches of rifling.
Yeah. Now I looked up the velocity drop. So if you want to, you can go look for ballistics by the inch, and there's a website where they like chopped barrels and they like compared velocities between different barrel lengths, and you can take a look at what you could expect in terms of a velocity loss. It's not that
much
bad.
different?
It's not that well. There's some difference. It's about 100 to 200 FPS depending on the round that you're using. But that's not the end of the world. I mean, if you just want like if you wanted to build a rimfire race guns 22,
yeah,
you would build it with that barrel, because that, like, there's no weight at the end. It would make it very quick to push the gun around because there's no inertia on it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Good recommendation. Now, can we get it?
I don't know. I'm super curious if we can though. Yeah, they got a bunch of weird stuff. And then Mossberg 464, which is their 30-30 thing. They're not selling it anymore. At a time, they were like the cheapest Win 94 style, like lever action 30-30. Because I think they were $380, like they were under $400 when Win 94s were discontinued, and then the price like skyrocketed on those things. But they don't make them anymore.
Okay.
Oh, and they had like a weird tactical version too for a while. No more.
No more. Well, all right.
Sorry. Bottom, my baby.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for new gun stuff. Correct? Okay, let's get into the main topic. Once again, we'd like to say thank you to the ladies from the CUSF Women's Committee and give a huge shout out to them for coming up with the new podcast, She Shoots. Come out and join us on January 11th, Tuesday. So it's going to be, we didn't tell anybody about what time it's going to be. I believe it's going to be 8 o'clock my time, which is EST. So plan to attend.
You'll schedule it and like post it on Facebook and YouTubes and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yep. People can watch it. Yeah. People can see it, by the way. I've already posted it on all of our Instagrams.
Nice.
I'm not. So anyways, listener feedback. Listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. You can also check him out on the Instagrams and Facebook, etc. as well. By the way, we have no emails. So
it's Christmas.
It's Christmas. Yep. People are taking a break, which is awesome. Also, we've been keeping up with Facebook as well. No new Patreonies either. So, we do. Did we talk about
those were last? Yeah.
Yep, those were last.
Okay.
2 weeks ago.
No new Patreonies. If you'd like to support the show, we'd love to have you come on over to the dark side. You can go over to patreon.com and search out Slimefire Radio. If you're a Patreon, you'll be sent out some amazing patches, etc. By the way, I found some patches recently. Adriel, how's that going for you?
I have no patches. I have no guns. I have no patches. I'm hardly even a gun owner.
You're just packed up.
I will be soon.
Okay.
2 months or so.
If you have not received your patches or stickers from us, any of those recent guys, send us an email. Let us know. Or send us an email with your address. I don't even know do we have their addresses yet. I don't know. Anyways, we'll check into it. I haven't seen
anything come through. No.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Okay, that's about that. Shoutouts, guys.
No, it's cold. Not doing anything.
Mo?
Shout out to the year 2021 to almost being over.
I'll shout out all our listeners for sticking in and listening to us this year.
Me too.
Putting up with the new guys.
You guys have been great. You've been fantastic.
Yeah. Did we pass our probation yet? I don't even know.
Your probation shoot?
Yes. I was going to say, wait a minute. Does probation actually end?
Well, Kyle, you get a shout out?
No, I don't want to shout out the year. I don't want to shout out Mother Nature. No, just nothing.
I wanted to give a shout out to the ladies for coming on tonight. It was a last minute addition, but they rallied in group and came on.
They were great.
And
that was awesome.
They are amazing ladies. They're truly some of the. They're making an impact on shooting in Canada. There's reasons why we have those separate groups for women, specifically in shooting. Without that path, I think it's going to be even a harder uphill battle for us too. So let's get some women onto educated into the community.
I like that they're involved in the universities. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we didn't talk about it. I know that we talked about it in previous episodes, but there are when CUSF has been on specifically, I think with Travis, there's programs out there. So there is specific shotgun, so trap and skeet program. They've also partnered obviously with Project Maple Seed to do the rifle aspect of it too. And I think they're also looking at a pistol course as well, so that they can. It's all about giving people the fundamentals. So, yeah, great program.
I think Issc should be a university course, in my opinion. So,
okay, yeah,
like a 4-year degree program. So.
I would support that. No,
I would.
No. Anyway,
Would you do like an overnight, like an all-night bender to study up on your Issc and then have a big Issc test the next day with no sleep,
hungover
requirement?
It kind of feels like actually now that
have to shoot matches that way, so why wouldn't you have to?
Coming out of my mouth, I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds
we already
like a regular match. Not the studying part, the drinking part.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had a couple here. William says, "In my eyes, you are all a great team." So thank you, William.
Thank you, William.
Doug is saying he has to hang out with us. If he didn't, he would feel abandoned. You'd feel like an abandoned pack of pathetic little puppies. And Happy New Year, gang. So Happy New Year, Doug, and thanks.
We think.
Are we the puppies? I'm not sure.
We're the rest of the abandoned puppies.
I call Yorkie.
You call Yorkie?
You call Yorkie?
Okay. Okay. I'm just thinking about Adriel's a Yorkie. It doesn't fit.
No.
It was the most ridiculous one I could think of.
Yeah, you have to pick a dog that
see
suited to you.
The hairless Chihuahua is more fitting.
This is yeah, that's true. Our crested Chihuahua. That's what you look like, Kyle. That
I'm like a bulldog.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what I am. Anyways. What are we? So yeah, when don't we stop?
What dog are you?
I don't know. Like a dog with a bone.
How about we do that? If you can think of what dog Kelly is, put it
this
in the
is
comments.
Just gonna go. It's gonna go badly. Yeah. If you're sending us an email with pictures of Kelly and comparing me against a dog, it's going to go badly. Anyways, let's sign off and get on with our new year. So check us out on Gunners of Canada. Like us on Facebook. Give us a review on Facebook. Also go over, as we said, join the CCFR. Try and win that cool sign as well. And we are coming back next week, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
I think so,
yeah.
Yeah. Everybody have a great New Year's and see you in 2022.
See you next year.
Year of the
See you
22.
next year.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.